Yeah, we back.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and I was home today.
Yeah.
uh, Let's gonna
Won't
get
that
right
something
into it.
else?
Yeah, with the shooting at Old Dominion University.
Mm,
I'm home today
boy.
because of that. I work at Old Dominion, and it was crazy because I was in the office and I
Mm-hmm.
walked into the lobby, and so I was on my way to the restroom, and we had
Mm-hmm.
some other coworkers out there, whatever, and one of our coworkers from another office, she was in the lobby too. She was like leaving out, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody, I don't know if it was a undercover police officer or whatever, just came into the building yelling and screaming, active shooter, ROTC. Well,
What?
he didn't say it. Well, she's just saying ROTC. So our our building where I work in is right next to the actual ROTC building. I can walk out and it's right there because we got two exits. So I'm thinking it's right there in the next building. So I'm like trying to get my badge out, get into the office up fast. When I got into the office, I told my coworkers we got the window we work for students, but it's like a glass. But I was telling my coworker, she heard it. She pulled down the latch. I ran, pulled down the other one. We're trying to lock everything down. So
Hmm.
we were just locked down. It was crazy. We didn't know if it was actually the next building or come to find out it was the building further up the block, but still in the same area, just across the street. We were further back with the lot and everything, but it's crazy. I've never seen so many police officers in my life. Saw cars. I mean, it was like a big old parking lot across Hampton Boulevard.
I saw it on the news.
Yeah, it was crazy out there
Yeah, I saw
because
it.
I live up in the other direction, so they was
Mm-hmm.
blocking off all there right there at the Hampton Boulevard and 49th Street, went down on 49th Street because that car garage that keeps showing. I used to park there.
Mm-hmm.
I just stopped parking there like maybe a couple of months back. So a lot of coworkers they couldn't get out, so had to wait because it was crazy. So I was across the street at the other lot, so I was able to go out and go back up the other way. They was blocking everything off.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Mm-mm-mm.
I believe I seen that guy before too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they showed this picture, I said he looked definitely familiar. 'Cause like I said, our building that I'm in is
Mm-hmm.
right beside the ROTC building, and they do
Right.
have classes in the that constant building they was talking about. And that area right there with our web center where they go in and you got the little eatery and everything that got
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks in there, all that stuff. I mean, that's where everybody goes there. That whole section is like always packed. Anybody could have been walking around out there.
I saw on the news just like 10 minutes ago that somebody could have been possibly selling guns on
Yeah.
campus.
Yeah,
That
I
they
heard that
didn't
he
know for
got
sure.
he got that gun illegally. He bought a
Yeah.
gun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I was just like, but it's bad, when you have an open campus like that and
Yeah,
society, they know that we've been going through this a lot as a country with colleges being having terrorist attacks,
and
schools,
place
all
of
of that.
worship. Yeah,
Yeah, that too. Church,
yeah,
yep. Churches too.
place of
And I'm
worship.
saying
They hit it.
they're not beefing up security, or they don't have enough security. Some bulletproof windows, doors, something needs
Because
to be done.
we have, like I said, we have a glass up, right? But they
Hmm.
just put that up. Well, it's been a long while since COVID, but when we got back into the office, they put those windows up. But like I said, it need to be bulletproof because I mean it's a little protection. And
Hmm.
when I go into the office, I'm just saying it'd be some strange people that the students sometimes they get a little irate. I'm telling you, it's not like it used to be. It's like as
Hmm.
time went on, the students they just got so
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So that
terrible.
it was a crazy experience because like I said, I was texting one of my friends and he was trying to make sure that I responded back to him a certain way, but it was kind of hard for me because I was trying to figure out what's going on. I wasn't telling him everything, so he was concerned. Then I didn't tell you until I got home because you was texting me, and I didn't want to get you like
Yeah,
started or
I
whatever.
immediately went and looked on the news. I was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, and you know I worked there, so I know you probably like, but I didn't want to say anything,
Yeah,
get you all started because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I said I'm gonna text you later. So after they said
I
we
was
can,
like, "This is crazy,
yeah. So we
crazy."
go, and I was going home. I was getting calls from everybody trying to check on me, make sure I'm okay. So I'm good because
Mm-hmm.
yo, that was just a crazy experience.
Yeah, I'm
Something
glad
like
that
that.
it was. Well, I mean, to the families that lost a loved one, condolences to them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm glad it wasn't worse than that because we've seen worse.
Hmm.
You know, families are safe and all of that, and I know in the time to come, kids gotta head back to school, workers gotta go back to work,
Yeah.
and all of that,
Hmm.
and it's gonna kind of like bother people. You're gonna be traumatized by
Yeah.
that, knowing that somebody came on the campus like that and brought a gun.
Yeah. And
You
that was
know.
it's just a wild experience. I'm like, I get into some other stuff off. I don't want to say some because of stuff that's going down. People saying off. They're like, yo, I think I
Yeah.
told you I ain't gonna talk about it, but it just was wild. It was just wild, man. I'm like, yo, like,
When I saw that, I was like, "This is just crazy.
yeah, it was crazy,
This
but
is
just
ridiculous."
when I was leaving out, where I was taking pictures. I mean, it was crazy. I was going to my car, and I was telling my coworker I'm not coming in the next day, but they canceled, classes and
I
closed
saw on the
university. So
news all of those police cars packed up there like that, and students talking about what they heard and what happened.
yeah, it was crazy. But
Yep.
those dudes in the classroom took them down, though.
Good for them.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. But I'll see what Monday brings, and
Yeah. Yeah. That's a terrible situation right there.
and I'm glad I was on my way to the restroom because because the restroom the way it's around the other end, I wouldn't have heard nothing. But
Mm, wow. Oh boy.
yeah, but I
Mm,
mean, yeah, let's let's get into it because it's
yeah.
going to be a very interesting
Yeah.
show
So,
tonight.
remember the DA Monday, right?
No, it was last Friday.
Last Friday. Okay.
Yeah, because remember, yeah, it was last Friday. It's
Yeah, it was
supposed to
last
be.
Friday.
It's supposed to have been that Monday at one point.
Hmm.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah. So last Friday at approximately, I'll say between 11 and 12, I met with them. And I can say the atmosphere of meeting with them, and this is not the first time, it's been a few other times before, but the atmosphere of dealing with them, um, it was very helpful. I enjoy sitting there asking the questions and then letting them answer by
Hmm.
giving me feedback on things that none of us was privy to. And not just that, but my own questions that I took there for them to answer. The district attorney told me, she said, "You know the answers to all of them already." But she did answer a lot of stuff for me, which was really shocking. But I'm thankful that I could say this is that we worked really hard and we got a hold of those transcripts.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thankful for. And sometimes that's what it takes, really, to be being dedicated and actually, going out into the field and doing the work, which is what we did. And we can't say too much about certain stuff legally, but I could tell you this is that there's been a lot of writing of letters, making phone calls, visiting certain sites, and just asking questions. And
Hmm.
you know, to obtain all those boxes, I'm not gonna say how many, but to
It's a lot.
obtain all those boxes that we got, it was ridiculous.
Mm.
It was just ridiculous. It was overwhelming too, just to see all that stuff. I said, I looked, I was like, this is unbelievable. And so while I was sitting there, you know, I was sitting there thinking like, um, how is all this possible? This is like the fourth, fifth time I've been there,
Uh-huh.
you know, trying to obtain these transcripts and wasn't able to obtain them. And so finally we was, and then I appreciated, the worker that was there. I forget her name. Plus, I don't want to mention people's names for a lot of reasons. I appreciate her for coming out and helping me load the car with those boxes because they was heavy.
Yeah.
And when I say heavy, these are like 50, 60 pound boxes.
Yeah.
When I
It's a
say
lot.
they're heavy,
It's a lot of boxes
they're
though.
heavy. They're heavy.
And when I
And
mean pat with paperwork,
it's a lot. It's stuff in there that you kind of second guess yourself, but when you go through the paperwork in there, it's like this is what we've been saying the entire time,
yeah.
you know. So we went through um the preliminary hearing first, me and you. So
And
that was what, about 1120 pages. We
yeah,
went through that.
and I'm not gonna say what's in them, but Laura, that's what Laura used in a lot of articles and for that movie. Some of it
Yeah.
and that's why people think that she went through something, but a lot of those charges were thrown out when it came to her and her children, thrown out, like we've been
Mhm.
saying. So
A
yeah,
lot. And that's what
yeah,
I was told when I was talking to the DA. She said a lot of the stuff that you've been asking and that you've been looking into and you and your brother have been investigating, she said this stuff is going to answer a lot of your questions. And guess what? Just going through that preliminary hearing,
yeah,
I'm just blown away.
yeah.
I'm blown away.
The stuff that Laura was saying, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I'm just blown away. I just
I'm
look
telling
and I'm
y'all.
just like,
Mm,
how do you come up with this stuff? And I know I say that all the time, but if you've been through it and you've experienced it, you'd be like, wow, how did she come up with all that stuff?
is it, yeah.
It's like watching a movie.
Hmm.
It's like watching a movie. Even with us, you know, working our own jobs and then having to do the extra work outside of that. It's like I felt like unsolved mysteries. That's what I felt like. Somebody said they have a question.
Yeah. What's your question?
Let's give this person a moment to see what their question is.
Yeah, I'll see it in the side if
Oh
they
yeah, I'll just
chat.
till they once they
Yeah.
put it up there.
I'll put it up there, but we can continue
Yeah.
talking today. Respond, but yeah.
So going through the preliminary hearing, we went through 1120 pages. And I can't say this, but I'm not gonna say much. That when you look at that preliminary hearing, all of the preliminary hearing was hearsay.
Yep.
And I noticed the judge that was refereeing that preliminary hearing kept saying hearsay, hearsay. And he kept saying to Detective Zirko, how did you obtain this information? Did you speak to everybody, or are you just speaking to Lord Cowan? So it's a lot of stuff that she has said. And this individual that's a detective, he had no evidence to back up anything that she was saying. He was
Nope.
just telling the judge, that's what Laura said. Nobody else in that. Now imagine 11, that's a lot. 1,120 pages. That's like 2 books. That's like 2 novels. So imagine that, and you have this one person speaking about this one person.
You ready for this one? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think I told this person they need to finish. They look at all our videos. Hold on.
Do you all have resentment towards your mom for not standing up to your dad? Yeah. Honestly, I can answer that question. Yeah. But a lot of that resentment I let go because I realize right now that that's not important no more. He's incarcerated now. He's never getting out. And most of us don't have a relationship with our mother. And the ones that do, when they go to visit her, she doesn't allow them in the home. They stand at the gate. I had a lot of resentment. And if you watch the videos, you'll see all of us, mostly all of our sisters and brothers, up here speaking about the resentment they held against our mother. But the topic is okay. Thank you. Glad you
Yeah,
understand. Mm-hmm.
yeah. We appreciate your
So
comments.
thank
Like
you.
I said,
Appreciate your comment.
yeah, like I said, go to our other videos. We're talking about our mom. We got 2 videos up there about that, and it's a lot of stuff we're not gonna say, but if you listen, you'll get it. But we appreciate you coming to this page and listening. We really do.
Right. So but right now, as we speak, I want to make it really about Laura because the
And
other
there's a
individual,
reason why too. There's a
it's a
reason why.
reason
Hmm.
because although they did a lot of the stuff, our parents,
Hmm.
Laura was a part of it too.
Yep.
But what she did and what she's been doing, in the media, she's been fabricating, falsifying, creating false narratives, and just completely lying about stuff.
Yeah. And she did a movie.
And
You
that
know.
was really hard on all of us when
Yeah.
she did a movie because it's like when I spoke to the district attorney, she told me this when I was leaving. She said, I hated that after all the stuff that all of you guys went through, that you still got to be traumatized. You still got to be traumatized. And with her making that movie, she didn't think about us. She thought about her pockets. She didn't even think about her own kids, I don't think.
Yep. She definitely has been
Oh
profiting
yeah,
off
she
us. Yep.
definitely been profiting off of all of us.
Hmm.
But trust me, she's the type of person, the person that mentioned she's profiting. Oh yeah, definitely. We all know that she's profited off of us, but she's real careful because of the way all of us knew her. She knows how to put money in certain places to hide it because this happened in her first relationship with her husband where she knew her husband was selling guns
And she
and
was
she
selling guns too.
she was helping. And
Yeah.
there's people that I know, there's people that my husband know that we still deal with, that we're close friends with, that said that they purchased a gun from her. So trust me, if a crime is going on and Laura is involved, she's gonna make sure she ain't going down. I'm
Hmm.
just gonna tell you.
Yeah.
She's gonna
Thanks,
make
y'all.
sure. If you seen that TV show Power, watch that. I'm telling you, she's really good. She's very calculated, very, very, and she's gonna make sure that, oh, I'm this poor little victim, this happened to me.
They
I was
robbed me of my money. You know, I was poor and
yeah,
all that. They Musa
even
just
with
took hold of my
yeah,
finances.
yeah, even
Mm-mm.
with finances, when she says all her finances was taken away, she didn't have any money when she came
Sure
into our
didn't.
home. She was living off of our parents. She was living off our mom. Our mom was getting roughly around estates somewhere in some documents, 6,000
Mm-hmm.
something dollars a month.
And Laura was going to get what, 400?
Yeah. And our father was getting a couple of grands a month.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he had a
Yeah, he
couple
was.
of businesses
Mm-hmm.
he was
So the
doing.
total almost came like 10,000. They said a
Yeah,
little
that was
more.
coming in the household. This is
Mm-hmm.
without Laura and Adrian.
Yes, out their money whatsoever.
This
Yeah.
was without their money. And so she knew what she was doing after what she did, she planned it that she was leaving her husband. Because she said that Musa would come around to the shop and hang out. That's how she knew him.
Yep. Yep. And
She said he would come
She knew.
around. She said he would come
Mm-hmm.
around and hang out. He was an acquaintance. That's what she said. So the person that mentioned she profiting, yeah, we know she's profiting off of all of us. And we've said that.
Mm-hmm.
We've said that. We're aware of it. But her cover is, because I just got a call, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I got a call, and I'm not gonna say from who because legally there's some things that's going on. But I got a call because and
I
the
think we had
individual,
some audio issue. Say it because I didn't hear you. I
I
mean,
said
at least I didn't.
I got a
Mm-hmm.
call just about 15, 20 minutes ago. And the individual I spoke to, I'm not gonna mention the individual's name because of legal stuff that we have going on, stated that they did watch Murder Unsubscripted, episode 38 and 39, and they confirmed with the prison that our father is in that none of us have visited him, period. None of us have visited him. There's only one person that have been up there to visit him, and that was an uncle. But none of us have visited him, nor have we received any phone calls from him. We haven't even written him a letter. And this has been since 2009. And I can tell you this, none of us don't have a desire to go see him or visit him. So this was done because Laura told a lie on Murder Unsubscripted, and she stated that Julie Baldwin said that we all go to visit him still and that we're all brainwashed.
And Julie Baldwin is the DA.
Correct. So that's
Mm-hmm.
been investigated, everybody. None of us have went to see him. And I will get that in writing. Number 2, Laura has not sent me or none of my siblings any money. And she stated on Murder Unsubscripted, episode 39, that we was calling her all the time, asking for money, and that she was sending her money. Every last one of us have been investigated. And it was a reason for that, to show people in society how she lies. Okay. None of us have received not one red cent from her ever, ever. And if you want to go watch those 2 episodes, it's on YouTube. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Murder. Is it Murder Unsubscripted?
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
Murder Unsubscripted, episode 38 and 39, where she's making up a bunch of lies on us.
Matter
But
of
I want,
fact, hold on for a second. On my channel right here, if you go to my playlist,
mhm.
you'll see a whole bunch of videos I got clipped of Laura. So I believe those are up there as well. It'll be easy for y'all to get to them. Yep.
That's not all, but I have a list here that I generated right here that me and Richard generated that we're gonna go over. And those, I mean, that's just some of it. 82 different lies that she has told. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, huh? Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
So, there's some other things that she has done. Okay. When it comes to that 1120 page preliminary hearing, we went through that one night.
Mm.
Like,
Man.
one day we went through that whole thing reading, huh?
Yeah, it was it
And I'm
was it was,
just
it was, it
telling
was
you,
mind blowing because we've been telling the truth and we've been telling everybody this, but I don't get everybody. I guess Laura been out there for 20 years lying. People just gravitate towards her. I don't get it.
even her own followers, some of them have came to us and asked us
Hmm.
come on their podcast, come
Hmm.
talk to them. Oh no, partner, it's too late for
Nah.
that. You ain't gonna use
Mm-mm.
us. You're not gonna use us like she did. You're not gonna do that. The
What's the
thing
guy
is
player?
that
What's the guy player T?
yeah,
I told him come to our
Terry
channel up
Crumpler.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I told him we spoke to DA. You want to know something? You come
she
up here. You speak to
yeah,
us.
because she got you food. And to Tracy Potts, I was
Yeah,
told this because I specifically, because it had been weighing on my mind. Tracy Potts, some journalist or whoever she is in Cleveland, that have a whole
hmm
bunch of jobs. She said.
she's
She
all
said
about black
that
excellence, but she's turned down a black family.
exactly. Black on black. You're doing that to a black family. And then she's not open to listening to nobody's side of their story. I think what it is that it's out of fear that Laura might retaliate against them, or it might be that they're in a situation. I said might be that they're in a situation where she has something on all those individuals. And she's probably told them, like she did so many threats in our home, if you don't do this, I'll tell this. An example of that, when she wrote that letter, Adrian did state in those transcripts that she knew Laura wrote the letter. And she
Sure
said,
did.
and a lot of stuff that she wrote in that letter was lies. And I told her not to do it. But she told me that if you tell, you're going down with them.
And that's in the transcript. That
And
she
that is
testified to that.
verbatim,
Yes.
verbatim in the transcripts. And like I said, we haven't even been through half of these
Mm-mm.
boxes. We're just getting started.
We like at
So
this at a little point.
so it's going to
Crazy.
be a lot of things
And see, I'm
that
ready. I'm ready. And,
audience,
and that see the letter is in the box, but I know they're gonna I think give you some little separate so you don't
yeah,
have to go through it. But
yeah.
we're definitely gonna do that letter, y'all. I've been
And you'll know exactly what's in it. You'll know exactly what's in it.
I'm just saying from what from the testimony of Adrian and when she was talking about Laura. Oh my gosh.
Adrian's testimony shocked the heck out of me. When I
A lot of
read that
stuff.
testimony, I
Man.
was like, what? I was like, wow.
And Adrian, if y'all don't know, she's supposed to been the so-called other wife in the home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other third wife, so
Yeah.
called. So so like I said, we got a lot of dissecting to do, and it's a lot more um to talk about. A lot. So we go back to the 1120 page preliminary hearing. When you have one person, one detective doing an investigation on one person out of what, 16 people that lived in the home, you
Mm-hmm.
don't speak to nobody else but one person. And you're telling the judge, and the judge is sick of hearing that. I could tell with reading that preliminary hearing. Why are you just speaking to one person? Oh, I haven't got around to speaking to everybody else. No, he didn't want to speak to everybody else because everybody else didn't want to speak to him because of his bad demeanor towards all of us. He cursed at us. He called us names. He was disrespectful to us. And he made it known that he had a liking for Laura.
And
He
that's the
used
detective that's on
favoritism.
the Dr. Phil show. If y'all don't know, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, go to my playlist and you'll see Laura on the front and go through the Dr. Phil show. You'll see that detective, um, Anderson Cooper. He was up there with her because he supports her. You'll see it, y'all. So we just want to let you
Yeah.
know who we're. Yep. If you haven't been following this page, you'll know who we're talking about. Yep.
And what she does when you look at the preliminary hearing too, the 1120 pages, she uses
Uh huh.
every last one of us, including Richard. She uses
Mm-hmm.
everybody, all of us, all 13 of us, as
Mm-hmm.
bait. As
Yep.
bait. She uses every last one of us. And the judge had asked Detective Zirko, well, if she was 190 pounds, why is she saying she was starved? He said, that's hearsay. I don't even want to hear that. He said, even with my own good common sense, a woman being 5'8", 190 pounds, I don't want to hear
Mm-hmm.
that. It was a lot of stuff that he threw out that he felt like was hearsay. Like another example, she has a 5-year-old son that weighs between 63 pounds. He's 4.5 inches tall. And she claims that, oh, he was malnutrition. This lady has went on Tamron Hall show and said that her son was losing the color of his skin and that his stomach was protruding and that he
Protruding.
was
Yep.
malnutrition. Okay, not according to the preliminary hearings that we looked at, not according to the DA that I spoke to. No, he wasn't. He
Because
was
the
five
doctor
years
checked him
old.
out. Yeah.
Yes, yes, because the doctor tried to allege that he was in the 50th percentile, and the judge said, no, that's hearsay. Throw it out. He said, because I know with my own common sense, I have a 6-year-old child, and you got a child weighing 60 to 63 pounds, and they 4.5 inches tall, but you have a 18-year-old 4 inches tall weighing 56 pounds. Y'all know that's crazy.
18.
You know that's crazy. You know that's a lie. You know that's a
And
lie.
like you said, her son wasn't in the home because we saw all that in the files where he
It's
was at, what was going on with him. Everything that y'all said, how he would throw his tension tantrum, he would do this, do that. That's all in the files. What was going on with him
yes.
and
And
where he was at.
also, right. And
Mhm.
also in the preliminary hearing, I mean, in Adrian's testimony, we're just getting little bits and pieces
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. But in Adrian's, the third wife's testimony, Marcus' testimony, Christopher's testimony, Michael's testimony, Curtis and Marva Joanna's testimony, we viewed some of their testimonies. And to the audience that was on Facebook Live back in January of 2025, we're making you guys aware of it, that when Laura stated that she was never mentioned as an abuser in this case and that she didn't abuse anybody, that's a complete lie. Me
Yep.
and Richard just read about 230 pages of testimonies from these 6 individuals that I just named that told that she was abusive and things that she did in the home. Mm-hmm. Now, Adrian said that Laura had a temper.
Yeah, she did feed. Yeah, she fed her
Yeah,
child.
she
She
fed
fed
a
both of
child.
them. They got
Yeah.
Nothing was
Yes.
wrong with her children
No,
whatsoever.
she fed her child. As a matter of fact, I don't even see Miriam. Now, Taz Salima, the daughter that she had with our father, she's not mentioned in these records at all, period.
So all
Miriam
that
is,
stuff Taslim is saying online, this case about her and what she went through, she ain't nowhere in there.
nope, Taz has told a lie. And Taz has told that lie because Taz came up out of the home as an 8-month-old baby. And her sister came up out of there at 3.5 years old. And her brother was what, 5.5.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. And what happened is they weren't raised by our parents and our family. All of the stuff that her kids are saying, that is a figment of their mother. That's what their mother told them. I don't even know if they've even read these transcripts themselves. And I think they don't want to read them because they want it to be something in there that reflects, oh, he did this to me. He did that to me. Her son told a blatant lie on a podcast. He said that Musa tied him up to the garage for 3 years. At 3 years old.
Check it. I'm gonna play it. I got that clip.
Yeah.
I got that clip. Just
And
give
then
me
he
a
was
second.
chained.
Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Listen, y'all. Here we go.
I like died 3 times during that shit. It's fucking crazy.
From being beaten or
yeah. And also like eating these pills and stuff, and having a ruptured ulcer and like throwing their blood and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. Because I was like chained to a garage, like butt naked for a year, almost a year.
when you sent me that picture of you as a little boy, and that I literally cried because knowing you And
That was
like,
a Ethiopian kid.
oh my, it hurts me. It hurts my heart because
I wonder why is it funny? What's funny about it? And then when he talks about pills, you guys, he talked about pills. Curtis and Sharon.
Hold on a second, sis. You can
Mhm.
just give me a second. I got something. Let me. I think somebody's
Okay.
at my door. I'm back. Sorry about that,
Okay.
y'all. Yeah.
So getting back to
He was
him,
talking. He was talking about those pills, right?
yeah. So when he said that, actually I'm twisted in what he was really even saying. I just know he said that he was chained to a garage for a whole year at 3 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
that he was given a lot of pills, but he never stated who the pills was given to him by. And I'm just gonna let everybody know his mother gave him the pills, and they're in the transcripts where three of our siblings testified, and he also testified himself that he was given pills, but then he said he don't remember
He
who
said he
gave.
don't remember. Yeah, he sure
Yeah,
did.
in his testimony, is pretty much he's saying he don't remember a lot of stuff.
I
He
don't
just,
know. Maybe I can't remember his whole testimony.
yeah,
Yep.
maybe I don't remember, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So he knows who gave him the pills because recently I just told him, but he already knew that, though
Yeah,
he
'cause
just pretended.
he tried to come at you
Yeah,
on Facebook.
yeah. Now I didn't say anything to him because I don't talk to them,
Yeah,
but he
yeah,
sent me
but
a
he tried.
message
Yeah, yeah, he
telling
did.
me that we was wrong for speaking up for ourselves. So I was like, no, you're wrong. Because first of all, you need to go talk to your mother about her giving you those pills in front of our siblings, causing you to have to go to the hospital and passing out. So, he knows, but he's sitting up there smiling and he playing games like, this is a joke. And this is a game to even be playing around, with something like that.
And I got one more clip I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
From saying something.
of the movie, anything you want to say before we end?
No, that movie's cool. If you watched it, watch it. But
Yeah.
yeah, just know there's more to it. But I'm just happy that I don't know, this opportunity and what's happening in my life right now. It's a good thing that this movie came out. There's a reason why this shit won't go away. And I think it's soon it's gonna be my turn to do what my mom does. And my mom was a superhero, so shout out to her. So
Uh-huh. Big time. Yeah, you're meant to be a leader. You are a leader. And, your mom can do as much as she can, but I feel like this is your calling to step into this light. I feel that for you. Whatever that light looks like, whatever that
yeah,
calling
whatever
looks like.
it looks, you know.
Yeah. And, even you putting yourself out there for other people who are survivors. that endured horrifying circumstances. Like you being you and just you being as authentic as you are,
Yeah.
that's gonna stand in so many people's eyes of like, oh my gosh, like look at this guy. Like he's still moving, he's still being able to operate in life, like he's not stunned completely.
Right.
And you're a fighter. You're a fighter. And that is something that I feel in my heart will show people like you can still have your life,
Mm-hmm.
even with these circumstances that might be extremely, extremely tough and traumatic.
Right.
And you speaking up, whether that's with your music, whether that's with your writing, joining an initiative, I just feel like that will come to you. And I'm really excited to see, you know.
I bet he is happy and glad because his mom is profiting off of another family
Yeah, and,
over
and
her
he said
over.
he
Hmm.
said it won't go away. It won't go away because your mom lied and she keep trying to make money off of it. But hey, hmm, it's
Just
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, just the stuff
Hold
that he
on.
said is
Yeah, they were
iron iron
iron
pills,
pills.
and they were
Mm-hmm.
expired. And
Mm-hmm.
two of our siblings, Sharon and Marlon. Matter of fact, you can go on this channel here and you'll see Sharon's full interview. It's about an hour and 40 minutes where she speaks about Laura coming out into the garage and going into a cabinet or a box that she had out there where she had stuff stored away. And that she went into a bottle, opened up pills, and gave them to her son and told him to eat them. And then Sharon and Marlon went banging on the door to try to get help, and nobody would open the door. And then finally, our father opened up the door, but by that time, he had passed out. So both of them didn't report it to the police because my father was covering up stuff for Laura. A lot of abuse that she was doing, he was covering it up.
And plus,
And
he didn't
so,
want to be found out what he was doing.
right, he didn't want to be found out that he was abusing his kids. And so both of them, that's what they was doing. They was doing abuse. She was abusing her kids. He was abusing us. And then there was some things abusive that she was doing to some of us. And what happened is when that situation happened, he ended up going to the hospital having his stomach pumped. So he stayed a couple of nights. But you can view that. Sharon
And
talks about that in her
I want to
interview.
say this Curtis interview. I'm not gonna say a lot, but Laura said she never hit or did anything to Moose's kids. Curtis said that Laura punched
Hitch.
punched Sharon and knocked her
Sharon.
back because she was trying to get out the door.
Yep. And it's in the transcripts
It's right
that
in
you
there.
that.
That was his testimony. Yeah.
Yep, that was his testimony. Plus, not just that, Adrian testified that Laura had a temper, a really bad temper. And she said that everything was about Laura, Laura, Laura. She said every time her and our father was out together, Adrian said that our dad would just tell her, well, Laura wants this, Laura wants that, Laura is getting this room, Laura's going to have this. And when she didn't get it, she said that she would get upset. There was also, I'm gonna mention this, which I thought was funny and I thought was
Oh,
childish.
I know what you're about to
There was
say.
a fight. There was a fight between them two because Adrian had moved in to one of our homes in Palm Springs, and the house wasn't big enough for everybody because we had a big family. And then with them two joining our family, and Adrian having two kids, and then Laura having three kids, what happened is Dad told Adrian that she could have the whole laundry room cabinets because they had big cabinets above the washer and dryer. So Adrian bought all these new clothes for her daughter and bought a bunch of new clothes for herself and shoes. And so our dad walked into the laundry room and saw Laura taking urine off of her son, pouring it. So
Yes.
Adrian was the third wife. Yes, she was.
Yep.
That's what we're speaking about. So Our dad walked into the laundry room because Laura's son was standing in a bucket, and he came and told Adrian Laura is out in the laundry room pouring urine on all of your stuff. So when Adrian went and asked her, she testified to this, that she went
Yeah.
and asked Laura, did you pour urine all over my clothes and all over the baby clothes? And she said, yes, I did. So Adrian said that the attorney, dad's attorney, asked her what happened, and Adrian said, I slapped her. She
Yeah.
I'd slapped him
See,
too.
now I know when he did that short, he said that Adrian went off and smacked Laura in the face, but he really didn't understand what it was about. Now we know she
But
was
see,
pouring
Laura
urine
is
all over the
playing,
clothes.
yeah, Laura is playing like this innocent victim that had all this domestic abuse. I'm just gonna tell you this too. In those files, all the domestic abuse that she alleged is all hearsay. It's
They took it
all
out. Yeah.
hearsay.
Yep. Yep.
All hearsay. Which is something we already knew,
Yeah. We
because
knew. We
a
just
lot
yeah.
of questions, remember I told you a lot of questions I was sitting up there asking, and the
Mm-hmm.
DA said, Crystal, you know the answer to a lot of those questions. She said, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to be able to answer them. But she said, when you and your brother go through this information, it's going to answer a lot of your questions. And I'm just telling you, going through that preliminary hearing and listening to some of their testimonies, answer a lot of stuff.
And the one about stealing the bread, not when we got into the trial thing with Adrian, but the preliminary hearing when he was reading the recordings, whatever, that
Mm-hmm.
it said in there that Laura was standing right there when Dad was punishing, I believe, Marlon, and she was right there, and she
Yeah,
kept saying
because
she didn't have a refrigerator. That was
yeah,
crazy.
well, they showed pictures, and she
Yeah,
told Doctor. I wish Doctor Phil could see this one, but
yeah.
she
I don't
told
have a
Doctor
refrigerator, Dr. Phil.
Phil. Yeah, she told Doctor Phil I didn't have a refrigerator. Oh, guess what? It's in them
Yeah,
files we got that you had a refrigerated pictures and all
yeah.
of that. It's in there. It's in there. But she went on TV and she lied.
About
That's
everything.
why well, as we've been talking, that's why I said a lot of stuff that we've seen in the media and a lot of stuff that's going on, people are really quick to believe it. And you
Yeah.
got to be kind of mindful. There's 13, 14, 15 other people that have a story to tell. There's other people
I
that
want to say this other one. This one was crazy about the honeymoon.
oh,
I want to say that because
so
I was
yeah.
like, the honeymoon, right? Dad and Adrian had the honeymoon at the hotel, whatever, and Laura was staying up on the third floor. She come down there in some
She was
lingerie and come up
jealous.
in their room talking about and taking them
She
all talking
wanted
about,
to join them.
yeah, that she wanted to join. She wanted to have a threesome.
She wanted to join them, and
And
they told
this
her she
is
needed
in
to
the
get.
transcripts.
She
This is
got
in the
mad.
testimony.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the transcript. She got mad and she left, came back to the house, got her children, and left and stayed
Yeah.
gone for 2
For
weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. Yep.
This is a lady who's saying that she was trapped, that she
She was
didn't have
battered and
nowhere to go.
everything. Yeah.
Okay, but you left and went and stayed in the hotel for 2 weeks. Where'd you get the money from? Where'd you
And
get the
y'all
car
said this on
from?
the y'all said this on the Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
I said she would leave at times and come
yeah.
back.
She had her own place twice. Had her own place. She would just leave, stay gone for 2 weeks. Did you hear Tiffany on Dr. Phil show?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
you would
yeah.
leave and stay gone for weeks at a time. And when you left, you could have went and got help, but you did not go and get help. You came right back and participated in that mess. That's what you did. Like Keisha mentioned, and it's in the transcripts. It's crazy how
They
Adrian
was
testified
they
that
was
Laura
fighting too.
had 3 buggies.
Yeah. Once
She had
again,
3 buggies
she
loaded
said
up
that
with
on
food.
Keisha
And
said that on Dr.
Keisha,
Phil too. Yep.
yeah, but she was trying to talk over Keisha with that clip from the Dr. Phil show. But
Yep.
Keisha
Yep.
was like, Laura, stop lying. Laura, you had 3 buggies. That's why she called the police, because she was jealous.
Yep. She was doing. I'm telling
Yep.
y'all, Laura was doing a lot of wild stuff. Now our dad, he did what he
This
did
is
here in
just
prison.
some of it.
But
This is
yeah,
just some of it. But yeah, she was
yeah.
jealous. But the person that she was really jealous of, and I'm gonna tell you, it played on me when we read the transcripts of how Adrian spoke, that
Mm-hmm.
she had a hate for our mother and a
Yep.
dislike for
Yep.
all of us. And
Man,
Adrian
this
said she couldn't
mm,
understand why.
the stuff
Because
she
she
was
said
calling y'all up in there, it was
she was,
crazy.
she was calling us stupid, idiots, shortcutted freaks. She
And
called us things,
Musa,
things,
what did Adrian say that Laura would call Musa's kid dumb, something, them
dumb
effers and all?
MFers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there in the transcripts. And Adrian said she couldn't understand why was Laura so mad all the time when somebody else's family, it was their turn to get something. But she said, no, Musa just said, well, she wants this. She wants that. She wants this. Then it got to a point where Adrian testified and said that she had to leave because she said he had got to a point where she said she felt like he had taken on too much. And Dad's attorney stated that, and I'm just going to tell you guys the reality of it. It was not his responsibility as a man to take care of those two women and their children.
Yeah, we're shaking our heads too.
Yep, me too. This is what I do all the time. This is what I've been doing for the last week, is shaking my
And
head.
when you was reading those, I was like blown away. When we
Yep,
was going through that stuff, I was like, please.
yeah. But like I said, Adrian said it had got to a point, she said, where, Musa said that it was too much for him and that he couldn't deal with taking care of a whole bunch of people. And that the things that Laura would say to him, like with the color of his skin, you know,
The stuff that Laura was doing, y'all just don't know. She kicked them in the balls,
spit on him and
spit
bit
on
him
them, and bit
and
them.
bit him. And she was seen doing it.
And
But she
this is
was
what
this big old,
Adrian testified to. Yeah.
but she was this big victim,
Yeah, but
right?
she's the victim though, right?
Yep. She was a big old victim. Now, let me ask you this question. Like, when you're in a relationship and you have two individuals fighting each other, both people should be held accountable, don't you think? Why just hold one person accountable? You know? And the thing about Laura is Laura got away. She got
Yep.
away. She got away. And the way she got away is how she got away from her husband. She was involved in some type of organized crime with him with selling guns, and it got too hot. So she figured, hey, I better go move on to the next. And that's what she did. And tell me, why is Laura's name on the women that have funds in the home account?
Her name. Yep.
You
All
spending
the yep.
Adrian's money and you
Mm-hmm.
spending our mom's money. And like Dad had said, like Dad's attorney had said to Laura in those transcripts, he said, let me ask you a question. How was you living in a house with a family that was getting $10,000 something a month, and you only got $430 something a month? She said, oh, well, I just did without, which is not true. He said, that's impossible. That's impossible. And there's a lot of receipts. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of grocery receipts.
Mm-hmm.
There's the way the case was played, how we was reading it, they kept mentioning in the trial that they was locked in the garage. They lived in the garage this, the garage that, the garage
Yep.
this, garage that. But when his attorneys pulled out receipts that wasn't these garages turned into rooms, and Adrian said, yeah. He said, wasn't there carpet laid
Mm-hmm.
in there and installation and heating, and wasn't it painted? And she said, yeah. So he produced all the receipts. He said, yeah, because here are all the receipts.
And she said they had beds.
Yeah. Laura said they didn't have beds, but Adrian said, yes, she did have a bed. She did have a bed. And then when Laura stated that she was stabbed in the foot
Oh yeah.
repetitiously, that's a lot of stabbing in the foot. That's when Adrian said in those transcripts. Now, this is testimony we're
Yeah.
talking about. Okay. Adrian said, I never saw a stab in the foot. She said, the only thing I saw was her wrist, where she had a cut on her wrist. And she said, I asked her how she got that. And she said, I cut myself.
But guess what, y'all? That's in Crystal Diaries. And that's what Crystal been saying the whole time. But on the Dr. Phil show, they showed some of the diaries. Later, Laura tried to play as if they couldn't read and write, and those diaries was fake.
Yeah. And if you look at the movie, I don't know if everybody's seen the movie, but when we read these transcripts, a lot of stuff in those transcripts, they use the likeliness of every last one of us, because Laura never made any meals for us. Adrian said she made meals for us, but she said that our father stopped her from making meals because he said that she was trying to poison us. Now, I don't remember Adrian making meals for us. She probably did, but Laura most definitely didn't make no meals for us.
Because Dad ate her food one time and got sick.
Yeah. And then Adrian testified too that Laura went to the grocery store all the time. She said the people that went to the grocery store all the time, she said, was Musa, Laura. Well, Laura's name was Salima. None of us knew her by Laura at all. Her name was Salima. So none of us knew her by Laura at all. That's why when most of us testified, when we was asked about Laura Cowing, everybody kept saying Salima. I noticed in that testimony, in most of the testimonies, everybody kept saying Salima. And the judge said, why they keep saying Salima? So DA said, well, they don't know her by Laura Cowing.
Yeah.
So that was a shock to know her name wasn't Salima Shabazz, that it was Laura Cowing. And then Dad's attorney, Mr. Morales, stated that she went by a lot of aliases. She went by Laura Cowing, Laura Lang, Laura Lacey, Laura Shabazz, Salima Shabazz, Salima Lacey. She has a lot of aliases.
In the preliminary hearing, she tried to say that she was held captive, but it was like they saw you here. There's pictures and photos. People saying they saw her here and saw her out eating and everything. So how were you held captive? See, that came up too.
And not just that, but she also stated that she came out here to California by herself, and she told Tamron Hall she didn't have not one family member. Yes, she did. She had an aunt, and it's in those transcripts, and she had a cousin that lived out here, and she probably had more family, but none of us just didn't know. But she had an aunt named Helen Kilmore, and it's in the files. Like I said, we just getting down just to the beginning of this stuff. We haven't even went through half of this stuff. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And when you look at it, you see all the childishness coming from adults that's in these transcripts. You see how children had to suffer for nothing. That's what you see. You see how a father went and turned all of his children against each other in a way that I don't want them to be close when they grow up. You see that. You see a lot of favoritism going on. If you tell on this person, then you get this. If you tell them that, and you're doing this to children. You're doing that to children. But guess what? He's not the only person that did that. Laura did some things to me. She did some things to Richard. She did some things to Marcus. She did some things to Michael. She's done.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna get to that part because I'm
gonna let you say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna really speak about that part when we finish reading it. But
yeah,
Laura had went at some point in time. I think this was back in 2007 or 8. She had went and sent me a message on Facebook asking me what was my daughter's name. And the first thing that came up for me is that's a red flag. Because being raised in that home, I knew how she was. I knew, here comes trouble. Okay. And then I discovered, which I didn't know this word back then, but I learned this moving further into the 2000s, that I was catfished, you know. And then I look at all my other siblings where they say, well, she was reaching out to our Facebooks telling us that she had a big house. She had a swimming pool, you know, and she wanted us to come stay with her so that way we could be around our sister. See, it was the same mind that our father had, to be a trick. And that's what she was doing, tricking all of us. And I thank God that none of us fell for it. That's what I think. That nobody fell for it, because times was hard back then. But the thing is that we held on and God made a way for all of us, you know? And so somebody asked last night, well, don't you thank her for getting you out? She didn't get us out. She got herself out of trouble. That's what she did.
And that's what it's all about.
If you read these transcripts, it wasn't about us.
It wasn't
about none of us at all. If you
she
heard
can care
the
less
testimony of children, it wasn't about us. It was about her being a participant in abuse in a family, abusing her children and doing some abuse to us as well. And it was not about her writing a letter to get help. It was about her writing a letter so she wouldn't get in trouble, because it states in those transcripts that me and all of our other siblings, that we was right there, like about to die.
And she knew it.
That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. If that abuse continued to go on, we was all gonna die.
And also, I want to add that Adrian testified that dad treated Laura's kids good, and also her daughter, treating them real good, treating them better than he treated his own daughters, his real daughters, treated them. Yeah.
Adrian
in the
testified that
testimony.
she had never seen a man treat Laura's daughter, Miriam, Laura's other daughter, Taslima, and her daughter the way Musa treated our daughters. He didn't even treat his own daughters like that.
Sure didn't.
That's what Adrian stated in her testimony. And you know what I wish? I wish that we could actually show these transcripts, but I don't want to show the actual transcripts because I respect all of my sister and brothers. I also respect a family member that had testified, you know, in this trial. And I also respect other witnesses that was in this case. And plus, too, I got respect for myself that I wouldn't even put, you know, some information like that out there.
And certain stuff we're not going to talk about, but we're going to try to find a way around to say some things. But yeah. And like I'm telling you, it's crazy. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And so at this point, right now, as far as Laura talking about Julie, I was told by the district attorney that no pictures was released of none of us to Laura. No medical records was released to none of us to Laura, and that Julie Baldwin did not do that.
Because that would be
a felony. What I was told, because Julie has not worked for the district attorney's office in over 10 years. And when she left, there's certain things that they take that she can't have access to. Now, this is what the district attorney told me. She said, you know how Laura is because all of y'all was raised in the house with her. And she said, you know how treacherous she can be and how sneaky she is. And she said, and I can guarantee you this, Julie did not do that. And Julie was not personal friends with her. She said, it's the media, and that's just Laura using somebody. That's what that is. That's her using people. Now, how she got a hold of our records and stuff, that's an investigation that's still going on. But I can tell you this. You can't have nobody's medical records and pictures like that, like she got out online like that. She even has our sisters' children and other people's children on her page, whether they was given to somebody else, she's still not supposed to have them. And she got them on her page, making society think that our sister's children was involved in this abuse. These children weren't even born. It was unheard of. And I think Laura is very creepy, and I'm going to tell you why. When I hear from cousins that you're going to their pages and you're reaching out to them, my thing is that why are you reaching out to our family, trying to speak to our family when you didn't like none of us? You didn't like our mother. What would you possibly talk to them about? And I'm just telling all family members right now, take it from me, because I lived around her, she'll destroy your whole life. She'll destroy your whole, and I'm talking about her, not Musa. I'm talking about her, not the other three adults, her as an individual. She'll destroy your life. When she come into your life, she's looking for something.
Oh yeah, Adrian said on the stand that Laura was going through y'all private stuff.
Yeah. When we would leave the house, go to the doctor's appointment, that she was going through rooms and going through private stuff. That's how she obtained a lot of pictures. Why are there pictures floating around in these boxes of all of us, but there's no pictures of you and your children? There's none. And then, like the judge asked in the preliminary hearing, he said to Detective Zirko, he said, if you're locked in a garage, like way on this side of the house, how was you able to record all of those video cassettes, all those cassettes like that? He said,
Laura said she 17 or 22?
Huh?
22? Is it 17? 22, yeah.
I think it's 22. He said, Laura said she sat the cassette down by the door. But what would we be doing by your door? You see, she makes up convenient lies. She got to make up a convenient lie to fit her story. Every time she talks, she got to find a lie to tell with it to make it convincing. He said, Laura said that she sat it down. That's not what Adrian said. Adrian said she had a handheld tape recorder.
Yep.
In the testimony. And she was staying right there. And children testified to her being an enabler, telling things on people in the house. Children telling things on children in the home. I'm just letting you guys know is that don't be quick to believe everything Laura said. You just can't believe one thing somebody said when there's other people that was involved. And it's a lot.
And they were going to charge her. I want to get that out there. They were going to charge her, but they gave her immunity, and we don't know why they did that.
That's another thing that we're working on to find out about that. With these questions right here that I asked them. With the 62 questions. So Hannah asked this question Friday to the district attorney. He said, why wasn't Laura charged for the abuse that the kids said that she did to them? She looked at Hannah and she said, why'd you say that? He said, because we was told that she got immunity. And so she said, who told you that? I said, well, one of the, I'm not going to give out his name. I said, one of the producers at Dr. Phil show. She said, I'm going to tell you this. They was going to charge her. She was going to be charged. But she said, I don't know why they didn't charge her. They just ended up not charging her. And she said, be mindful. All district attorneys are different. All of them. She said that she saw the case. Other people saw the case. There were several attorneys that viewed this case and they couldn't try it. How Julie tried the case, I don't know. But when you read it, it's a mess. It's
Yeah.
a mess. It's a mess. I've
It's
seen
all over the
transcripts.
place. I'm telling
Yes,
you.
I've seen transcripts before, but I've never seen transcripts. Now I'm gonna tell you this. I always say this, and we all do. This is not to cover up anything that he did. I'm past that.
Yeah.
He was 100% wrong for everything that he did. And guess what? He's being punished for what he did. He's being punished. We're speaking specifically about Laura because Laura has carried this thing out like she has a vendetta against somebody, because we was told by our sister that came out here to California to visit that Laura said that's what they get for going on the Dr. Phil show. And when she said that, that made me wake up. I was like, she mad at us because she didn't want us to speak. That's what it is. She didn't want us to speak at all. And then when you got a child, your own child, that's telling our sister that, yes, my mother did abuse me, that they're not lying about what she did. This is her son that told our sister this when she came out here this one summer, that yeah, she did abuse me.
And I want to make it clear that's Adrian's daughter. That
Adrian,
had,
yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So like I said, the questions that I asked, want to go into the questions now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the questions that I did ask the DA, I said, can I please get the transcripts? As soon as I sat down, she said, I have them. I have them. And I thanked her for them. And I told her, I said, you didn't have to do that. She said, yes, I did. Yes, I did. She said, I had to do that for you and your family. Yes, I did have to do it. So then I asked her, I said, can I please get a copy of the 26-page letter? She said, you will get a copy. We're working on that right now. She said, then I asked her, I said, can I receive an examination of evidence, which I've already done, put in for that. I asked her about receiving restitution. And the reason why I asked her about receiving restitution is because this crime was done to me and my siblings. Okay. And it was done, a lot of things was done to us. And if you watch and you continue to watch past interviews that we've done, you're going to see this and more stuff that we're going to discuss. You're going to see that. So restitution was to be determined because there was so much stuff done to all of us that they can't put a number on how much should be paid out. Now, for Laura, I can tell you this because we have the court minutes. She was paid by our father and our mother. She was paid. And she doesn't speak about that, but she was paid. I asked why was files being held away from us. She said that what happened was due to the case being so old that they couldn't find the files. But they do, she said, but we do have copies and you're going to get a copy. And she gave me copies of everything. Like I said, when it's a lot, when I say boxes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Put it this way, else more than 5.
Yes. And they're
heavy,
huge.
it's a lot.
They're huge. They're huge boxes. And so then I asked her, why does Laura have access to files that we don't? She said, whatever files Laura got access to that she's not supposed to have, she obtained them illegally. And she said, and that's something that you and all your sisters and brothers should know because you was raised in that home. And she said, you guys know how she was. So she said, that's a question I can't answer. But nobody has a right taking your medical records or pictures of you of abuse, putting it online. And she said for them, for the district attorney's office and any government entity, Those are felonies.
And
There's
she got
police reports that you cannot release. They can only be released to victims.
and check this out, y'all. She also has that recording. I wonder how she get that recording, and that's on her website.
Yep.
And people think it's her son, and it's not.
Like I said, any question you ask Laura, I'm gonna tell you, she has a lie to cover herself. It's either I don't know, or she's gonna blame it on somebody else. That's just how she is. She's never at fault for anything. This is a person, I don't think she probably wasn't even raised to take accountability or responsibility for things that she's done. She just seemed like to me that she's just a really obnoxious, selfish person, that she don't care about nobody, and a big narcissist. She just don't care about nobody, only care about herself.
Any
That's
issue
it.
that any issues that her kids are going through, and they're trying to blame it on Musa. Actually, it's her.
It's her.
I'm telling
Because you got
y'all.
to look at the age. All of us was raised in the same household, and we was raised up together. So certain things that may have happened in our household, that's going to be a reflection of them if we go that route, which we haven't chosen that, and I thank God for that. But Laura's kids, like I said, they was 5, 3, and 8 months. They've been with their mother all of their lives. They didn't even get a chance to get to the double digits. They didn't get a chance to get to
And guess
9,
what?
10, 11, teenage years, none of that. They're grown
And guess
adults,
what?
all of them.
And guess what? They went into counseling about what 8 or 10 years of counseling.
The weird part
It's not
is,
because of Musa. It's not because of Musa.
yeah. The weird part is that she states they all went to counseling all of those years. All the stuff that she said that happened to her and her children, that stuff is going to take you a lifetime to get over. I know that.
Look, I'm up
I
there
know
in age,
that.
and that stuff happened when
All
I
of us,
was
we
like
know
young. And
that.
I remember that like it's like a picture up here.
Yeah. And trust me, if all of that stuff that her kids alleged that was done to them, you're not going to forget that stuff. You're not going to forget that stuff at all. You're not going to forget it. So, I'm just like, nah, you guys, it's something that's just not right about you guys. And then, I asked her, why does Laura Cowling have access to my brother's medical records from Norfolk, Virginia? She said she don't know. She don't know. But she said, you guys know how to deal with that, which there's some things that's being taken care of that I'm not going to speak about. So I also asked her, why was Laura paid restitution from both our parents while my siblings and I haven't been paid anything? She said, your mother paid restitution? I said, yeah. She said, how did your mother pay restitution? I said, my siblings helped out with paying. That's how. She said, so you're telling me that your siblings, victims in this case, paid restitution to somebody they didn't do anything to? I said, yeah. She said, I wouldn't have did it. I asked her, why is Laura saying that she was given all court transcripts? She said she don't know why Laura is saying that. And she don't know if Julie gave them to her or what. She don't know why she's saying that. So I asked her this. I said, why is Laura saying she was given access to where all of us live at? She said, we don't do that. That's a felony. We don't give somebody access to crime victims. Their telephone numbers, addresses, their locations, where they work at. She said, we don't do that. That's a felony. We're a government entity and we'll get in trouble for that. So that's a lie. And like I said, the list could go on and on and on. But the most important thing on this list is that the question that was asked is, was Laura Cowan kidnapped by Mansa Musa Muhammad? And she said no.
And she wasn't held captive, like we've been saying.
Yep, she said no. I said, was there army tanks all over the property and helicopters? She said, no, the army didn't get involved. She said there was no police cars on your property. We got pictures.
And while you're saying that, I want to play that clip that she said that happened. Hold on, I got it right here. Just give me a second. Let me find it. I believe it's this one. Hold on, just give me a sec. Because I know I wrote it down. Nah, that's the other one. Is it this? Hold on. I believe it's this one, y'all.
Because you're down and out too, in a way.
Yeah, that's what
that's it. Any little help come along, you're like, thank you.
Thank you, Jesus. Yeah.
Well, hold on. I got it. It's this other one. Here we go.
You know, like, don't say nothing, you know, because he's right there. And then he picked up on it. Body language is something else, boy, but he picked up on it. He did. And he stopped in midstream. He says, I need to talk to you about something personal. Can you step out here and talk with us for a minute? I say, sure. And then that's when Musa went there. What is this about? She can't go out there with you guys. Get off my property. You got some kind of warrant? What's going on here? You know, he just ramping and raving and raving and ramping. So Officer Fogel had the other officer keep him over to the side. And then he took me around to the side of the house. And he says, I got this letter from the postal people. Did you write this? I said, yes, I wrote it. Are you in danger? I said, yes, I'm in danger. My children are still in that garage. And the next thing I know, he stepped back 2 steps and he got his little walkie-talkie. He yelled on the intercom for backup. And that place was surrounded. I tell you, when they came with helicopters, they came with trucks and jeeps. They came out. And I told him, please go back inside to get my kids. Please, my kids are in there. And I don't know what he's going to do. And he went over to the side. I'm still on the side of the house, so I can't see anything. And what he did do, what I found out, he had Musa put in handcuffs. Because I could hear Musa scream, what's this about? Why are you arresting me? He said, you're not being arrested, you're being detained. And we need to go over some questions with you. And you know, he was all just out of control. So
normally that worked. When he got out of control, it normally worked.
It worked in my favor because they saw the craziness in him. They put him in handcuffs. And they would have let him out. But no, they put him in handcuffs and walked him to the car and put him in the back.
You know what I just noticed in that clip? She said Officer Fogel came to the door. But in other interviews, she said Detective Zirko.
Yeah, that's why. That's another reason why I wanted to play it.
Yeah, but then she also said this. She said Officer Fogel said they received a letter from a postal clerk. Don't you mail the letter through the postal clerk?
Yeah. So they said she mailed it, and it got to that lady, the worker, whatever.
She mailed the letter mailed the letter at the post office through the postal clerk, and her social worker, Marilyn Crawford, got it. So she said that Officer Fogel came to the door. She didn't say Detective Zirko. That's what I'm saying. See, that's another lie because we have the police reports. It was not Detective Zirko. It was Officer Fogel that came to the door, and he did not get the letter from a postal clerk.
And didn't the social worker come with them too? Because they said that she was at the door.
Her name was Marilyn Crawford. She was there. The social worker was there. And then she said that there was helicopters and jeeps. There was no jeeps. There was no helicopters. There was only max, I'll say 4 police Broncos, but they was outside of the gate. They never came on the property. And even Adrian said that in her testimony, in those transcripts, Adrian said that they heard somebody banging at the door. And she said her and Laura came out and opened up the door. That's when they knocked on Moose's door and told him the police was out there.
Because he
And
was
once
asleep.
and once he opened up the door, the police had his name and they wanted to see Laura. Laura went straight out of the house to the side of the house talking to the social worker. And it's in those court records and the police report. It didn't happen like that. She's sitting up on all these podcasts lying. And these podcasters aren't even looking and getting actual information.
Let me play this other clip because she's with these ladies. This one, I think this one a trip too. Let me see if she said this one.
Would have let him out, but no, they put him in handcuffs and walked him to the car and put him in the back. They got my children out the garage and they brought both of them, Miriam and Muhammad, over to the side with me. And my son was so happy to see me again because he thought he was going to never see me again. And Officer Fogel bent down to them. He says, "Are you okay?" And my son raised up his little shirt and he showed me, "No, I'm not okay. Look at my stomach and look at my hands," because Musa would swat him in the hands really bad if he didn't know. He did all his children like that. He tortured them. If they didn't know different surahs in the Quran, or they didn't know about heart, that he would take this big boat or paddle and he would just swat on their knuckles. And his hands were swollen, you know. And yeah, when help came, they got us out of there. I tell you, it was just a relief that you'll never, ever experience. I tell you, it's just, ooh.
What did you have in the garage with you all? Like what did you sleep on? What did you?
Yeah, it was like a little tarp. It was almost like a little thin mattress, like you would have in a daycare. You know, the kids lay down and nap on, and all of us would be sitting on it. You know, I would have Miriam in my lap, and Muhammad would lay across me on the side. I would never lay down because there wasn't enough room, but I would make sure they lay down on it. It was boxes in there with just different items and trash and stuff that he had in there from the home that didn't use. We weren't allowed to cook. Like I say, he had brought us food in there. When days he wanted to, days he didn't want to. You weren't allowed to go to the bathroom. So we had to find little bottles and jugs to pee in. And then he would have us to come out in the middle of the night some nights and dump it in the yard in the back. So that was it. That was what was in the garage. And if you ever look at the LA Times, it's a LA Times story. I'm gonna have to send you the article where they did a multimedia piece, and they showed the pictures of everything in the garage. Because when the guys came in, the detectives and everyone came in, they took pictures of the whole place. They had yellow tape on everything. They took pictures of the urine bottles. They took pictures of Musa's gun he had. They took pictures of everything in there that was evidence. And they took the mattress out. They took everything out so they could use it later on in court.
But you said that he had taken another lady and her kid also in there, correct?
Sure did.
Was that actually his first? Was that his wife, the lady that you met to get you to come live with? Was he married to her?
His main wife, who he was married to, had the 13 children, stayed in the house with him.
Okay.
And the other lady was a lady he had met years ago, and they kind of re-met again, almost similar to my situation. Her husband was in jail. She didn't have a place to stay. He invited her there as well.
A lot of lies in that. Because first of all, I'm gonna tell you this: Adrian was not married, and we read it in the transcripts. And the man that she claims that Adrian was married to, that was not a marriage. It was a polygamous relationship. He had a wife. And the other thing that I listened to is that she said that after the police got there, they rescued them and took them out of the house, right? Her and her two kids. She said that my son thought he wasn't going to never see me again. Why would he think he won't gonna never see you again when you just said that he removed you and your two kids out? Plus, your son was not even there. It's in the transcript. He was in a home. He was in a home for problem kids. He was not even there. He didn't even live in our home. He didn't live in our home for a good year and a half. That's why in the police report, it states that a lot of stuff that she was saying that the social worker had to go verify through the kids. And when the social worker went and verified certain stuff, she didn't find anything. Because she said that he had beat him on his bottom and he had bruises. And the social worker went investigating. And it's in the police report. She said she didn't see anything.
And we did a video on the police report, y'all. So y'all go check that out. Yeah.
Wow. I tell you.
See, I like putting up against what she said and what we actually have, and then actually what y'all been through to show everybody that look, hey, you can clearly see she lied.
It's just crazy how much havoc she was able to cause, and that she got away with so much stuff. Okay, so we back to number 6. It says, This is the question. Was Laura brutally beaten by Mansa Musa Muhammad? And do you have photos I can view? The DA said no. There was no photos. There was no police reports. None of that ever filed. She said, remember, this is stuff that was all hearsay without no evidence. And she said, your father wasn't charged with that. Were all 3 of Laura Cowing's children malnutrition? She said no. Were all of Laura Cowing's teeth knocked out of her mouth? She said no. She said it was you kids that had teeth that was decaying in your mouth from lack of nutrition. Was Laura 109 pounds or 120 pounds? She said no. That's a lie. She wasn't. Was Laura Cowing legally married to Mansa Musa Muhammad? She said no. Did Rick Zerko rescue Laura Cowing from a nailed shut garage while she and her son was chained up in the garage? She said no, that didn't happen. Were there FBI billboards put up for Laura Cowing as a missing person? She said no.
And also, those 2 ladies she was talking to, there's a clip where she talked about the billboard, but I don't know which one because I got like a couple of them up here, but I just want to add that in.
Yeah. Did the FBI get involved in the alleged kidnapping of Laura Cowing? She said it wasn't no kidnapping. So no, she said the FBI didn't get involved in anything. Did Musa lock Laura in a basement in 1980? She said no. I said the reason why I asked that because Laura was on a Facebook Live and somebody said that they were so sorry that he had locked her in a garage from 1980 up into 1999. And Laura made a comment that she appreciated, but she survived. She didn't even correct the lie that it wasn't in 1980.
She didn't know the family in the 80s.
We didn't even know her.
Met her in 96.
We wasn't even in California in 1980.
Nope.
This is crazy. Was Laura stabbed in the foot 38 times? She said no. There was no markings, none of that on the foot. She said the mark that was on her foot that they looked at, she said it was so tiny you could barely even see it. And so she said, no, it was not a stabbing in the foot at all. Did Musa build a hanging mechanism to hang Laura upside down? She said, no. And she said, that's weird. Did she say that? I said, yes. She said, our father built a hanging mechanism to hang her upside down in the basement. Now, we did. Go ahead.
Great. Mike testimony. He said that dad hung him up on a pole. And he was so young then, he was thinking it was some type of hanging mechanism.
Yeah.
That's the same thing Laura said because she stole, somebody gave her those transcripts and she is repeating all the stories or the testimony that y'all saying it was her.
The way Mike explained it that it was a pipe on the wall and he tied a rope around it and he would tie their feet up and then pull them up on the pole and hang them there. Because he was a child. That was his way of explaining. Laura took the story and ran with it and said that dad built a hanging mechanism. I'm like,
and hung her upside down.
And hung her upside down in the basement. Okay, we're going to go on. I'm on number 49. Was Laura's skin sagging and discolored due to malnutrition? She said no, it wasn't. She said you kids was malnutrition. Okay. Was Laura's son chained up for 3 years at the age of 2 and rescued by Detective Zirko? And when Detective Zirko entered the home, he was wrapped in chains. She said, no, that didn't happen. And again, like she told me, she said, a lot of this stuff I can't answer. You guys know the answer to it already, that this is a lie. But she said, no, that didn't happen. And why her son is saying that, he said maybe his mother told him that. And he believes it. Did Laura have 40 stitches in her head from Musa throwing the VCR at her? She said no. She said, I had stitches and some of the other siblings that was hit and cut had stitches. But she said Laura didn't at all. Were there 50 police cars and FBI agents at the Awanga home to rescue Laura? She said no. Again, FBI didn't get involved. Were helicopters and army tanks used to rescue Laura? She said no, there was no helicopters and there was no army tanks. She said they use helicopters when they're actually doing like a search. You know, somebody breaking somebody's house or they got a fugitive on the run. She said that's when they use helicopters. And then another thing I asked her, I said, did Musa pull out a gun on the officers? She said, no, he didn't.
That's in the movie.
She said he was actually very cooperative. In the report, it stated he asked questions, but she said he was very cooperative when they arrested him.
And also that whole thing about this gun stuff, it wasn't loaded when they got the gun and everything, and
Nope.
it was illegal. It was legal gun. He guided it, the right way.
Were there 19 children living in the home? Well, I can answer that. No, it wasn't. Because they got that in a lot of news articles that it was 19 children living in the home, and it wasn't.
I seen some said 20.
Yep, that too. Yep.
21, 22, stuff like that. I'm like, what?
Yep. Did sheriffs have guns pointed at them by Musa? She said he'd be dead. Which that's what she said.
Yeah, we said that too. We said that too. Yo,
I can't answer these.
Let this black dude
shows him. They're like, this is crazy. They kill black folks.
Let this black dude who a Muslim pull out a gun. It's over.
She said, no, he'd have been dead. I was like, wow. Okay, I think I already answered this one. Why was Laura not charged with abusing my siblings and me, including locking us in the trunk of the car? She said she was going to be charged, but for some reason they didn't charge her.
Yeah, didn't one of them, Curtis, said that y'all was in the trunk of the car?
Said it.
Curtis said on the stand, yeah,
in his testimony, because Laura wouldn't tell the truth about that she had her own place, and Curtis was like, no, she didn't move in with us. We moved in with her. That's what I've been telling everybody.
She took this whole story and just flipped it all the way around.
It's a lot of stuff in here that I'm gonna be honest with you with, is that I know the answer to all of this because we've been over all of this, you know, and to have to sit and make a list of lies. I mean, this is 82 that I typed out. 82 different lies that she's told, and we all have facts to back it up that she lied. Now, what else is she lying about?
Who knows? It's just
and my thing is that everybody that was involved in this case, I'm not gonna say actually everybody, but most of the people that was involved in this case, they did a crappy job with this case. They really did. They just did a crappy job, just a horrible job. He did what he did, and like I said, he's being punished for it. But some of the adults that should have got time and should be locked up, they ain't got locked up for it. But karma has a date, and karma exists. And as long as you live, you're going to figure it out. It's going to come to you. You know? I mean, I'm just like, when Dad mentioned that Laura was a convincing gold digger, that she convinced him to put her name on Adrian's account and on his account. And guess what? She took all that money.
$97,000.
She took all that money. And our father think that we took the money and we were children that didn't have no access to nothing. And he's thinking that we took it. But guess what? Even if we did take it, we was entitled to it. That's the thing. All 13 of us and our mother, we was entitled to it. We didn't get a penny of that money because you allowed this convincing gold digger that you call her to trick you into. He was smarter than that. I don't know what it was. I really don't. I don't know what it was.
He just was caught up. I think he hated his family so much. I don't get it. He just.
So I'm just gonna say this in concluding is that, you know, we still got a lot of stuff to dissect, and we've been doing that. I'm proud of us for everything that we've been doing. And what we have to do is what we've been doing. And I can't speak about it much, but we just gonna have to keep moving along and doing what we doing till we get to the bottom, you know, of everything. Yeah. Because like I said, looking at them transcripts, you know, a lot of stuff I was shocked myself that I didn't know. Because when you're actually looking at somebody, you're like, that's a lie. That didn't happen. But then when you have it written down on paper and you got a court clerk that's typing this stuff, it's like you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up, you know. And I'm saying, I've heard people say, because I heard the DA say, it's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. No. I was given a lot of advice. That's all I'm going to say. And I know what freedom of speech is. And I know that all of us have been violated to the point where you have an individual that's practically living off of all of our pain that we went through. And like the individual that was up here a few minutes ago stated, she's profiting off you guys. No doubt that she's doing that. We know that. We know that. But her goons that work with her, guess what? They're profiting too. And you know what they're doing? When we mention that she's profiting off of us, they cover it and say she didn't make any money. You know why? Because they're getting paid too.
And we found out she did get paid. She did get paid.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
People can make calls. We're not stupid. People know how to make calls.
We made a lot of calls.
And and people know how to ask questions. People know how to talk. Okay. So I don't know what your plan was, what you thought you was going to get away with, but I know this, that eventually all this stuff is going to stop. It's going to be gotten to the bottom of, because we're heading there already.
Yep. Yep.
No.
Yep. All right, y'all. We've been up here for a good while, but it's good. Good. It was a good conversation tonight.
Oh yeah.
Presenting this information. So
yeah.
So again, everybody out there that's watching, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button. Do all that stuff to help the channel out. And if you want to support, the ticker go across the screen, my Cash App. Yeah, Cash Me Bodie the third. If you want to support this channel and support other stuff that we're doing. And just appreciate everyone, appreciate the comments, and just watch all our videos. Like I said, look at Laura videos. I'm not blocking you from that. Look at them, study them. Look at the movie if you want to. I don't care, but you'll see, the lies.
The inconsistencies is just, it's a bunch of them.
It's all over the place.
Yep. And to the audience, especially to the viewer that was asking questions, we appreciate you and thank you.
Yep. All right, everyone, have a blessed night, and we'll be back Friday. We may do a video. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. All right, everyone, have a good one.
Good night.